Hello everyone. I, Leena Raut, welcome you all on GenX Parenting. We recently did two vlogs about one burning issue amongst parents. That is, how to ensure cyber safety for children. And the second one was about the impact of cyber world on the psychology of children. The links are shared in the description, so do check it out. In both the vlogs, the expert mentioned one terminology quite frequently, and that was body shaming. Increased access to social media, rise in selfie culture, and crazy use of filters has led to extreme consciousness about one's appearance. And the side effect of the same is body shaming. In today's vlog, we are going to talk about how to identify and deal with body shaming issues amongst teenagers. And to help us with the right information, we have with us Dr. Ananya Chitare. She is an associate professor with D.Y. Patil College of Homeopathic Medicine, and she's also a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist. So let's welcome Dr. Chitare and get going with our vlog.
Good. Thank you so much, Leena, for having me here. I'm so happy to connect with you.
Thanks. So let's start with our first question. How parents can identify if the child is having body shaming issues?
Yeah, it is very important that we know some important signs and symptoms, which are very obvious actually when it comes to body shaming. Just if we can imagine a scenario when somebody just comments on our hair, comments on our looks, or we dress up very nicely, and then somebody says, "Hey, oh, what happened to you? Don't look fresh. Okay, you don't look great today." We immediately feel something within us, right? We feel a little, "Arey, what? Am I not looking good?" We get concerned, right? So just imagine a child or a teenager who might be facing this very regularly, where probably he's getting bullied or teased at school for the way he looks or for some of his body parts. Obvious feelings that will get generated in teenager are going to be of anxiety and depression. Okay, so that will lead to certain obvious signs and symptoms. For example, the child might suddenly start getting very irritable for no reason many times. Okay, or the child or the teenager would show symptoms where they don't want to go out anymore. They don't want to go out to the places where they would enjoy. They would want to not go out for functions that they would otherwise love to, as you would know your child. Okay, they would start making excuses. I don't want to go, whatever, I'm not feeling well. They would want to stay confined at home. If somebody comes to meet, they would not want to come out and meet them. All these are symptoms where the child would want to get socially isolated because the child is very much concerned about the way he or she looks. Okay. Apart from that, you can notice that the child is now somehow starting to hate foods that he would love otherwise. Okay, he would stop eating his favorite foods. You can see children spending a lot of time in front of mirror. Now for teenagers, many times it happens that, with the teenage coming up, they will spend more time in mirrors. They will take those 5 extra minutes to set their hair and stuff, right? But these children, you will notice that they're getting distressed in front of mirror. So for example, they have to go out somewhere and they change one clothing, they dress up, and they will come and ask you, "Mama, I'm looking good." And you say, yeah, you're looking good. But still they're not convinced. They would again go look at the mirror, they would again change, rechange, and still they're not happy about entire stuff. Okay. Apart from that, you will also see that the child is having this low feeling continuously, doesn't talk much. The moment you tell to the child about going out, they will try to make some excuses, as I already said. So these are some obvious signs and symptoms. I still remember this classical case of a child who had come to me. She was a 12-year-old girl, and she had come for some other issues, but the mom said that nowadays she's getting very irritable. So I asked her that, why is she getting irritable? Have you noticed any triggers? So mom said that the other day, somebody in her class did a nice haircut, a very short haircut, and she also wanted to do that. So she went and did that in the salon, and she was okay. Now this girl had a very nice long hair initially, and she cut it really short, like a short bob style. She came home, and one of the neighbors saw her and said, "Oh, why did you cut your hair? You used to look good in your previous hairs only. This doesn't look that good on you." The moment this child hears this, she burst into tears right there, even before entering in the house. She went in the room, she looked at the mirror and she said to her mama, I'm looking very terrible, do something about it. I don't know, how will I go to the school? She got so bogged down with this just one comment. The next day she took the mama's phone and started searching for, those wigs and those long hair attachments. And she avoided to go to school. She said that I won't go to school for next whole week till my hair grows up a bit. Okay. And she literally did not go to school. Okay. So you can see when your child becomes sensitive about some comments or certain things that somebody tells to them about their looks, and those comments could be at times even neutral. So that is another sign that your child is not comfortable with his or her own body, and they're taking everything to their heart, and that's why they're suffering, because of whatever notions they have about their own body, right? So these are few of the classical signs to identify whether your child has developing body image issues. Okay. Apart from that, if the child is getting bullied or teased at school, they would obviously show unwillingness to go to school, college. They would even show some physical symptoms such as too much of weight gain or too much of weight loss. Some of these teenagers who have got access to phone and pocket money, they can even secretly try to use diuretics, laxatives, to purge out so that they don't gain weight if they're not comfortable about their weight. Okay. So these are few important things that we must watch out for. These typical signs of depression, anxiety, and social isolation. If your child is displaying, we can very much think that the child is having something related to body shaming going on.
So if the parent notices that the child is having body shaming issues, then how he or she can support the child to deal with the same in an effective manner?
Let me just go a little deep into from where does this body shaming comes up. So obvious thing why body shaming can affect a child first and foremost is when a child has not developed a healthy body image or a concept of healthy body image. Okay. Now, from where does a faulty concept of body image can happen? So obviously today we know, as we have discussed also in your previous videos, that social media in a big way is responsible for promoting certain stereotypes, right? Thankfully, we are gone from the days where, at least in movies, there used to be one fat girl who would be the comic character. Okay, people can joke about her, and then she will be shown to going through heartbreaks because of her weight and fat and all that stuff. Thankfully, we are long gone from that era, but the era that we are into is also not doing much good. You can see all these things coming up, right? About, those perfect looks, and how our celebrities get trolled when they are not in a great look, or how they are trolled for their clothing choices. You take Vidya Balan se leke anybody, right? So even today, the things haven't changed a bit. And plus the Instagram filters also do no good, right? Where everybody is so desperate to sort of hide their flaws by using filters. And children being children, they don't understand that whatever is coming in front of their eyes, be it in screen or be it in real life, it's a well edited image of everybody. Okay, be it their physical looks or be it their any personal life as well. We all get a very well filtered, well edited images today, right? So it is very important that these are responsible for generating this thing in a child's mind right from start, that I have to have straight hair, silky hair, only those are good. Okay, fair means only they can look pretty. Thankfully, again, we are out of that, where nowadays chubby chicks and dimple chin thoda thoda jane laga hai, so, but still, with so much of influence around, it is very difficult for the children to know what is a healthy body image. Right. So when we're talking about healthy body image, we need to inculcate in our children's mind right from start the concept of fit body rather than just slim body or good looking or beautiful. We need to start associating beautiful with fitness. Okay. This is important to prevent the body shaming of happening with a child later, rather child getting impacted by body shaming in later lives. Okay, so the promotion of fit body, promotion of healthy body image becomes extremely crucial. Now, how do we do that? The first thing is that we as parents need to be very careful and responsible about what kind of modeling we are doing in front of our children. We need to be those role models for our children when it comes to body image. Okay, I have had cases where the parents get so bothered. I still remember this mother coming and telling me that, she has moved from size M to size double XL, and I don't want that to happen with my daughter. So if you have any medications so that she doesn't get fat, please give it. And all this she's saying in front of her daughter, who is just like 16 years old today. Okay, so now what are we sending? What kind of message are we sending to this teenager, right? Her mom is not comfortable. Her mom is under so much of pressure. Ki, okay, I was using size M few months ago, and today I'm double XL, and it doesn't look good. It is, it's not nice at all. So we have to be very careful that what kind of self-acceptance we demonstrate in front of our children, what kind of body image we are having about ourselves when you're talking to our children. Okay, that is one thing. The second thing that I would say is, you need to stop as a parent complaining about the way you look. Okay, or your dissatisfaction about your body parts, or the way you look, that needs to stop. Even subconsciously, you shouldn't be saying, oh, I don't look good in this haircut. Okay, this doesn't suit me. Okay, let's stop saying all these things. These could seem as very neutral statements, but for a child, they are big deal. Okay, so let's stop complaining that. Let's be mindful about what kind of even talking and behaviors we are adopting for our own bodies. Then I think overall building of self-acceptance and self-esteem of the child is important. The overall self-esteem quotient, and that also needs to start from very early childhood. Okay, for example, when we tell our child that you look beautiful today, it's child's birthday, suppose, and you say you look so beautiful today. Okay, that's fine. But what message is getting sent across? That when I wear good clothes, when I put makeup, only then I am looking beautiful. Right? So the next day, when a child is kind to somebody, you need to say, oh, you're such a beautiful person that you're helping. Okay, when a child takes care of himself, or doesn't behave, or rather misbehave in certain situations, you need to appreciate that as well, saying that you're such a beautiful and a kind person. You're such a beautiful person that you can take care of yourself as well as others. So we start equating concept of beauty with not just looks, but with other aspects of personality as well. Okay, so that's when we can say that rather this is how we practice that beauty is not skin deep. We can't just say that beauty is not skin deep. We have to show it to children why and how beauty is not skin deep. Okay, so this generates an overall concept of beauty in altogether different manner. Children right from early childhood pick up these things. I still remember I was taking a group therapy session for a class of say a 12-year-old, and I was showing them a story from Ramayana. And in that, it was through a video, and that Shurpanakha comes and she's shown to be a little fat, right? And all children burst into laughter. Ah, she's such a fat, she's such a ugly looking lady, right? Now, my thing was that they already have this within them, these teenagers, that fat means ugly, right? And that is what tomorrow they're going to probably use it for somebody else around them who is fat, right? So I think that all these things that come should be nipped right from start in their bud itself, right? And the only way to do is by being very careful about what standards we are setting them in terms of beauty, in terms of body images, building their self-esteem overall, so that tomorrow if somebody shames them from their body part or some of the aspects of their looks, they don't take it to that deeply, where they see that they are good for nothing or they are really ugly, because they know already that beauty is not just about my nose, beauty is not just about my hair. Okay, so inculcating those things right from start can prevent our children being affected from any sort of body shaming. Then I would say, if the child, this is about preventive aspect, but if the child is actually going through body shaming, and you realize from the signs that I mentioned already, that child is not sleeping well, or not eating well, skipping meals, you can see all these classical signs. It is very important to not be very confrontative about the whole thing. What happens is, when a child comes and tells us, I don't feel good because my friends are telling me fat. Normally, a parent would say, jane de, dhyan mat de. don't take their comments. Right now, just saying that is not going to help, because they are the ones who are facing it day in and day out, right? We are not. So it becomes important that we tell them, or rather we validate their emotions. And how do we validate? We say that, yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling terrible the moment the person says that you're fat. I'm sure you're feeling very bad about this. I'm sure you're going through a lot, because it's not easy to handle such people outside who are shaming you. Right? So let us first accept and validate their emotions, rather than saying, ki, why are you paying attention? Jane dena. How does that make a difference? These are very superficial things to be said. We need to accept them and validate that, yes, we can feel bad. Because let's not forget, tomorrow, as I started our discussion with, where I said, if somebody comes and just says that, oh, why did you cut your hair? Your previous hair were only good. Aren't we going to get affected? Right? We also do get affected. Same way, a child is also, or a teenager is also going to get affected. So let's validate that whatever they're feeling is obvious, and it can very much be felt if somebody's shaming them. The second thing is, be honest about certain aspects. Like, you can, that is the time where you can reflect back on your experiences of body shaming and share your experiences with your children honestly, that, even I went through this, or even I had this. And I don't think there would be anybody who might not have got even one experience of body shaming in their lives. I think body shaming is so prevalent that even today I hear moms telling to their daughters that, marry this guy, because you're so fat, you're not going to get anybody better. Right? Even today, that is prevalent. So maybe when your child is going through this, it is worthwhile to be honest about your experiences of body shaming, how you went on and dealt with it. Again, saying these things, like, again, I have noticed many parents telling their children. There was one case where a parent said, मैंने उसको बोल दिया कि तू ध्यान मत देना, मेरी तरफ देख, मुझे लोग कितना बोलते हैं, but मैं ध्यान देती हूँ नहीं, be strong like me. That is what the mother was telling this teenager, and that is so counterproductive, because what happens when you say this, the teenager will feel that, boss, you are strong, but I am not. Okay, you are able to tolerate, but I am not. And that becomes counterproductive, because the teenager will feel ki, oh, I am weak in this also. I'm not strong like my parent. Okay, so just saying, look at me, how strong I am. I bear with everybody's criticisms. You also should learn to be that strong. That can many times become counterproductive. And that's where, again, the validation of emotions becomes important. So accept your child, accept the emotions, be honest about, yes, it can be very terrible when you go through these experiences. Share your experiences with them. Okay, and apart from that, again, many times they might have lost their sense of self-respect and self-esteem because of the continuous body shaming or bullying that might go around them. So it would be our job to, again, remind them of the wonderful qualities that they may have. So, many times we tend to use this, ki, okay, they might not find you beautiful, but ask me, I find you so beautiful. But then you have to augment this sentence by saying that, why I find you beautiful, because you do A thing, B thing, you're kind, you're gentle. The other day, you only came to my rescue, nobody else came to my help. And that's why you're beautiful. That makes you an amazing person, not just your hair, or not just your shape of nose, or not just your skin color. Okay, so you need to, again, remind them of what beauty is all about. Okay, sometimes, giving examples like you have some amazing looking persons who have committed heinous of the crimes, right? So it is not about looks always, right? So would you like a person who is looking amazing, but then you come to know that he has hit somebody just 2 hours ago? Would you now find that person beautiful? The obvious answer is going to be no. Right? So reminding them of these things can help in a big way, reminding them of things that they're doing wonderfully otherwise, bringing to their notice every single time there is an opportunity, okay, that, oh, you did this thing, wow, this is so amazing. I don't think I would have been able to do that. That makes you stand apart from anybody else, right? What happens is now, normally, we never lose an opportunity, or we notice even the smallest of the thing that our child would do wrong. Okay. And we would jump in there and try to correct our child or scold him, or, whatever techniques we use, so that he doesn't do that again. And even smallest mistake doesn't escape from our eyes, which grabs our attention with our children. But when children are doing some small things which are really amazing, we completely let them go. Okay, we don't jump in with that amount of energy otherwise, to then appreciate them, to make them aware what they did good. Okay, and those are the opportunities lost, which can build self-esteem very strong in our child. A simple thing where a child comes and gives you a towel, okay, to wipe off the plates, that is an opportunity where you tell, oh wow, you helped your mom today, amazing, great job. Okay, the moment a child just asks him, mama, you look down, what happened to you, we say, nothing, it's okay, but I'm fine. But that is the opportunity you have to jump in and say, oh my god, I never realized that you're so considerate. Yes, that makes you amazing. So these are small things which can help the child to feel good about themselves or herself, and then that will somehow take care of small things that can go around. Small as in, somebody's commenting on their looks, somebody's commenting on their fat, then those things don't impact the child to this extent when they are already feeling good because of all these things that they're doing, of which they're aware of. Okay, so that will nullify in some ways the impact of body shaming if they are receiving, or it will also protect them from being carried away by those goody images of people that they see on Instagram. Immediately the comparison doesn't happen, because yeah, she looks good, but you know what, I am good in other ways. But for that, child has to be made aware constantly of what he is good at, right? So this is how we can sort of help children from if they're struggling with these issues, we can try to help them. And yes, of course, if none of these are helping you, if you're doing all this and this is not helping, then obviously connecting with a professional would be very much needed in these cases, because if the child has actually gone into depression and anxiety because of body shaming, or he has gone into what we call it as body dysmorphic disorder, then the child will need professional help. So if none of these is helping, I think without delaying much, you must connect to a professional.
So that was exactly my next question, that in case somebody needs to seek a professional help, to whom they should approach.
Yeah, so in fact, it's a very important question, because I think, at least in India, we have a lot of people around us who are like doing counseling, or, are sort of mental health professionals. But I would like to throw some light on this. First of all, there is a difference between counseling and psychotherapy. Okay. When I'm talking of a child or a teenager going through proper anxiety, depression triggered by body shaming or body dysmorphic disorder, we need a very professional help, where a regular counseling also might not help. Okay, psychotherapy goes a little deep down, which tries to address very core beliefs, tries to bring about reframing of thoughts, behavior modifications, emotional regulation, and a lot of it, right? So please remember that whenever you try to seek out a help, it would be advisable if you connect to somebody who has been qualified into proper psychotherapy trainings, or at least has done masters or post graduation in their psychology. Okay. Apart from that, child psychiatrists are very much there around. So anybody who has earned a degree in psychiatry, it could be MBBS followed by MD psychiatry, or homeopathy followed by MD psychiatry. But a proper formal training in psychiatry would be essential to address these conditions. Specifically with children and teenagers, I would like to highlight one more point, is that if teenagers, still it is understandable, because they can talk about their issues, okay, just like adults many times. But if we are looking at little younger children, for example, a child who is lesser than 12, 11 years of age, between age group of 5 to 10, in these children, they don't have their cognitive capacities as well as language abilities, linguistic abilities, well developed to an extent where they can exactly represent the conflict that is going on with them. Okay, so that is where not all children, but many children, because the way adults have can join the dots of whatever is happening to them and tell verbally to a professional, a young child might not be able to do that. And that's why you need somebody who has a specialization in child psychotherapies as well. Okay, which can bring about those issues which a child is not able to reflect or openly communicate or verbally put in through the words whatever is going on inside their mind. So you will need to connect with somebody who has a specialization in child psychology, child psychotherapy, or who is at least having experience as a child psychiatrist. So that will help the situation very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Chitre, for that insightful discussion. If you find this video helpful, then do share it with your fellow parents. And for more such informative videos, don't forget to subscribe to GenX Parenting. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.